Our concert at Cadogan Hall on the 22nd of November is the latest in our ongoing Mozart 250 project. The idea behind Mozart 250 is that we place Mozart's life and career in context and work our way through his repertoire and his music exactly 250 years later. So now in 2021 we're exploring the music that was being written and performed in 1771. The idea enables us, I think, to not only follow the trajectory of Mozart's life in sequence and to understand how he developed and evolved as a composer, but also to place his music in context so we can see where he was getting his ideas from, which respects he was similar to his contemporaries and in which respects he was very different and superior. And we found that it's a very interesting way of charting his development and indeed of unearthing a lot of music that is rarely performed nowadays. This concert, 1771 Mozart's Perspective, explores the year 1771 exclusively from Mozart's point of view. So it was a year that began in Italy, where he'd at the end of 1770 enjoyed the triumphant premiere of Mithridate in Milan. He returned in the middle of the year to Salzburg, and then towards the end of the year he came back to Italy for the rehearsals and the premiere of Ascanio and Alba, his second opera for Milan. Our programme on the 22nd of November is framed by three symphonies that Mozart wrote during the course of that year. The first one was written in Salzburg in July. The second, the F major, number 13, was written immediately after the premiere of Ascanio and Alba and was written in Milan. And finally, the third symphony that we're performing, the A major, number 14, is actually dated the 30th of December 1771 and was written and premiered back home in Salzburg again. In between these three symphonies, which are all wonderfully jovial and open-hearted, I think those of you that know the violin concertos, it's very much music in that idiom, very fresh, vivacious, lively and welcoming music, friendly music. The vocal items are mainly by Mozart as well, three arias by Mozart, a concert aria, an aria from Ascanio and Alba, and also an aria from the first version, the original aria that he wrote at the culmination of Il Sogno di Scipione. As well as that, we have two arias not by Mozart but very much related to Mozart's travels during 1771. We have an amazing aria from Paisiello, his Annibale in Torino, Hannibal in Turin, which I was really bowled over by. I think of Paisiello as a composer of comic operas, most famously The Barber of Seville that he wrote before Rossini made his famous version. But actually this is a serious opera and an amazing scene. It's about a continuous flow of about 9 minutes of music, accompanied recitative, a gorgeous slow arioso, then more very dramatic accompanied recitative, and then finishing with a real Sturm und Drang, very dynamic, lively minor key aria full of turbulence and fury. And the second aria not by Mozart is an aria by Hasse. And when Mozart was commissioned to write Ascanio and Alba for Milan in October of 1771, it was the second opera of a pair, and the senior billing was given to Hasse's opera. So Mozart was still considered the junior of the two composers. And we have an aria from Hasse's Ruggiero that was premiered in Milan just immediately before Mozart's Ascanio and Alba. Hasse clearly didn't have a huge ego, and he, on the occasion of these two works being performed side by side, he had the foresight to predict that Mozart would, he said, consign us all to oblivion. The singer is the wonderful young American soprano Emily Pogorelch, who I first heard in the Glyndebourne Cup singing Mozart a couple of years ago when she was only 21. She's now on contract at the Bayerische Staatsoper in Munich and is a fantastic talent, and actually this concert is her UK debut. There's something wonderful about being able to tell the story of Mozart's life and to really go into the details. So a program like this, where we really are concentrating exclusively not only on one composer but a particular year, a single year in the composer's life, and placing it in context and playing a couple of arias by other composers that we know Mozart heard, we know he heard that music, is a wonderful way of sort of getting under the skin of the composer and understanding more about the evolution of his style, but also enabling our audiences to come on a journey with us and part of a longer train of thought.